On the news tonight, House of Representatives call for more proactive steps from the security agencies to addressing cases of banditry and kidnapping in parts of the country. As strike continues in University of Abuja, House of Representatives move to bring an end to the lingering issues. Cross River State House of Assembly passes into law the State Fire Service Bill 2024. Good evening and welcome to Parliamentary News. I am Abubakar Galadima. A bill seeking to grant enforcement powers to the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission has passed second reading. The bill, which is for concurrence from the House of Representatives, is for repeal and reenactment targeted at strengthening the Commission in discharging its duties of monitoring and accruals of disbursement of revenue from the federal accounts. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports on these and other considerations at plenary.
The bill, upon being presented for second reading, faced some opposition, but was passed after clarifications.
I so suggest that you allow us have a copy of this bill, go through the details, page by page, section by section.
I thought the bill was just to give the bill the Commission additional powers, but it's beyond that.
It's a very tricky situation here. We have to look at the powers that have been granted to this commission under the Constitution.
Other bills passed at second reading include the National Institute for Educational Planning and Administration Establishments Bill from Senator Omar Sadiq and bills to establish Federal University of Applied Sciences, Manchak, Kaduna State, sponsored by Senator Sunday Katung.
The objectives of the Institute is to promote the study, the practice of educational planning and administration in Nigeria.
No investment in education of a nation is too much.
To provide courses of instruction and training and research in applied sciences and provide technicians and such skilled personnel required for related industries.
Senate has made an urgent call for the completion of Kano-Maiduguri Road.
Awarded a dualization contract by the federal government 17 years ago.
Mr. President, even in the spirit of inclusivity, all other roads in Nigeria should be suspended for now to give attention to that road first, because we are the only region without any express road apart from that.
This chamber should direct the Senate Committee on Works to go and inspect the road for a critical assessment of the situation.
Action should be taken immediately to save life. And it's a very, very important role because the economic benefits we derive from applying that road.
The Red Chamber has set up an ad hoc committee to investigate the stalled completion of Abuja Centenary City.
There is ambiguity in regulatory and implementation.
A lot of money has been injected into that project. And as it is today, for more than 10 years, the project remains abandoned.
Senate has expressed displeasure with some aspects of the renovated chamber and hopes for quick adjustments.
This looks more like a conference room. It's supposed to be a chamber.
Federal Capital Development Authority that renovated it. We shall discuss in future about the need for us to have proper autonomy for the National Assembly, because after 25 years of democracy, the National Assembly should be able to own a property or own a chamber.
The lawmakers, following a motion from Senator Onawu, commiserated with the people of some parts of Nasarawa State over the rainstorm that wreaked havoc on some communities, leading to loss of lives and property. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
House of Representatives have called for more proactive steps from the security agencies towards addressing cases of banditry and kidnapping in parts of the country. At Tuesday's plenary, lawmakers urged the Inspector General of Police to set up surveillance and intelligence gathering in high-risk states to nip security in the bud. National Assembly correspondent Mitaire Ikpen reports on this and other deliberations at plenary.
In separate motions of urgent public importance, lawmakers condemned armed attacks on Ambe community in Kaduna State and parts of Uzwani local government area in Enugu State.
Concerned that the criminal elements have continued these serial kidnappings and killings, despite presence of 3 police divisions in the local government area, which have obviously been overstretched. The youth
of the area summoned courage apprehend one of the gunmen with his motorcycle and gun, who was later handed over to the soldiers on special duty at Bantu.
Mr. Speaker, between 2015 to 2023, more than 19 trillion naira was spent on security and security-related matters in Nigeria. Whereas we have an alternative where we can bring in mercenaries.
We should look at all our resolution that has to do with insecurity, all the resolutions. Let us put them together and begin to ensure compliance with some of these resolutions.
The House also mandated its Committee on Navy to investigate the death of one Richard Onumegbu, a civil servant in Abia State who was allegedly tortured to death by men of the Nigerian Navy over a civil dispute.
Realizing that this is the second time my constituent is being killed unconditionally by the Nigerian Navy in the past 3 months.
Meanwhile, the House has issued a 14-day ultimatum to the nation's cement manufacturers to appear before it or face legislative sanctions. This follows the absence of the manufacturers at a joint investigative hearing on the arbitrary increase in the price of cement in Nigeria.
This forum is not a witch hunt. It shouldn't be used as a platform to target any particular stakeholder. The primary focus of this engagement should be the people, and all about the people.
Lawmakers promised to enact laws that will checkmate excessive hike in the price of commodities. From the National Assembly, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo says federal government is working towards provision of conducive environment for inmates by building modern correctional centers with facilities that will add value to their lives. The minister stated this at a meeting with the Senate Committee on Interior over the recent Suleja prison collapse. National Assembly correspondent Isa Muhammad has more.
Suleja Correctional Center was built in 1914 with capacity for 200 inmates, but it has been overstretched to more than 400. Following the incessant prison breaks across the country and the most recent, the Suleja incident, Senate Committee on Interior invites the Minister and Comptroller General of Nigerian Correctional Service for the way forward.
And we also discussed about solutions in terms of making sure that this doesn't happen again. And I can tell you the federal government is in control of this. Everything is under control. And President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is actually putting in everything through the Ministry of Interior and the Nigerian Correctional Service to make sure that there's no reoccurrence and we have a correctional center. We have a correctional center that is safe for all inmates.
Committee members unanimously agree that the agency needs more funding to meet global best practices.
The good news is that they have what it takes to retract them, and they have already rearrested some of them, and the effort is ongoing. We are satisfied, very satisfied with the minister's briefing. I believe he's doing what needs to be done. But going forward, we have to do what we have to do to appropriate more resources to modernize our prisons. They are meant to be correctional.
The meeting that later entered into closed door also discussed overcrowding and awaiting trial inmates. From the National Assembly, Isa Muhammad, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has appealed to the Academic Staff Union of the University of Abuja and the management to find a common ground to end the ongoing strike in the institution. At an investigative hearing, the House Committee on University Education maintained that the failed engagements forwarded by ASU will be addressed. National Assembly correspondent Mohammed Rabiu Ali reports.
The Academic Staff Union, University of Abuja branch, embarked on strike to press for their demands. This prompted the committee to investigate the cause of the industrial action. This meeting is to resolve amicably the issues in contention. On its part, ASU highlight its grievances to include advertorial of the post of the Vice Chancellor, appointment of deans of faculties, recruitment of staff, among other alleged anomalies.
In spite of the branch-ESCO interaction
and zonal visitation of ASU to the Vice Chancellor on the same concern, he remains non-responsive.
The regulation of the university gave the Vice Chancellor certain powers in the process of employment. There's nothing that is done outside the regulations of the university.
Please do suspend the strike while we look into the issues.
Assuming up to the end of June, the council of the university have not been reconstituted, what will happen? Do we sit down, watch, then appoint one of the DVCs? I don't know whether the DVCs also, I don't know whether their tenure also will be expiring at the same time with the Vice Chancellor.
The Committee on Tertiary Education thereafter asked Abuja ASU and the university management to go back to the negotiation table and resolve contending issues to report back progress within 1 week. From the National Assembly, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
Still on Green Chamber, the House of Representatives Committee on Public Petition has assured the Obiagu Town Union Litigation Committee that the Obiagu Akwa local governments of Enugu State will get justice in the case of alleged police harassment and land grabbing in a petition presented before it. National Assembly correspondent Joshua Gunjide files the report.
The community had petitioned the Parliament over allegations of land grabbing and police harassment, which had led to the destruction of property as well as loss of lives. Chene, the chairman of the litigation committee of the town union, claimed that the siege laid against the community at large was as a result of the conspiracies and plans allegedly orchestrated by the trio of Festus Uzo, Kingsley Eze, and Gozie Okoye to forcefully take over their land. The Obiagu Hokunano community also prayed the House of Reps to direct the police High Command to apply appropriate sanctions against the alleged officers who are accomplices in the matter. The community also prayed the House to stop the menace of the alleged land grabbers and save Obiagu Okunano people from the invasion and forceful takeover of their ancestral land.
When it comes to the issue of land, when it comes to the issue of peace, you face the issue as they are on the ground. You don't talk about the majority. Because even if you are the majority, fine. But the minority, with truth on their part, you still have to be there.
The IPO who investigated the matter has his own invitation to come up with his findings, to let the House know what his findings was.
Refer this matter to a closer authority, which is Enugu State Command, that is closer to the people, so that they will do a discrete investigation to all these people and resolve it.
The Green Chamber struck out the case of land grabbing, saying it was before a court of competent jurisdiction, maintaining that the issue of intimidation and harassment by the police would be followed up to the letter.
For me, the land matter is in court. What I'm interested is the security of the people. So land matter in this particular issue, anybody that is coming in respect of this land matter is very strong as in this matter.
From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogunjide, NTA News.
Time now to pause for some messages. The news continues shortly. Are you looking for a short channel to make your business, goods and services go viral? Look no further, as NTA Parliament is your short channel. Take advantage of our wider reach and advertise your products and services on NTA Parliament DSTV channel 370, GoTV channel 126, StarTimes channel 306, and Free TV channel 706. For more inquiries, contact the Marketing Department, NTA Parliament, NTA Headquarters Area 11 Garki Abuja, or call these numbers 080-383-40464 or 080-770-78055. NTA Parliament, strengthening Nigeria's democracy. You are watching Parliamentary News, reaching you from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has approved the appointment of Chief Talumon Akputu, PhD, as the Director of Mortgage Bank through the Board of Federal Housing Authority, Mortgage Bank Limited, chaired by the MD CEO, Federal Housing Authority, Honorable Oyetunde Oladimeji Ojo. Before his appointment, Chief Talumon Aputu, PhD, is a renowned financial expert and businessman who has served in so many capacities after his retirement as director from the Benue State Government. He served as three-time council chairman of Kwande Local Government Area and later member representing North Central at the Board of National Examination Council, NECO. Chief Aputu later served as Director of Grassroots Mobilization for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's campaign for 2023 general elections. The new Director of Federal Housing Authority Mortgage Bank, Chief Talumon Aputu, is the founder of Excellent Microfinance Bank, one of the leading microfinance banks in Benue State, and a respected businessman with a surfeit of effort and benefaction towards nurturing and empowering small and medium-scale enterprises. He holds a Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. The Federal Housing Authority Mortgage Bank Limited is the primary financial institution which facilitates funding for housing schemes across the country. The board chairman believes Chief Aputu will bring his immense wealth of experience and professional stature to this role by ensuring and supporting policies of the institution for effective implementation. As the rainy season sets in, Kano State House of Assembly has prioritized solutions on the construction and reconstruction of roads in different parts of the state to ease mobility for the populace. Samira Hami Sushira reports that during Tuesday's plenary, 2 motions were adopted on the provision of these critical infrastructures alongside electrification in some communities.
Usman Tasiu Abubakar from Kiru and Yusuf Bella Aliyu of Nasarawa had their motions on Tuesday's other paper, which eventually was adopted by the Parliament. They are seeking for the construction of a road from Hotore Filin Station to Filin Lazio, while in Kiru, from Unguwar Dutse to Kerana Marakuwar. Meanwhile, Aminu Saadu of Ngogu and his counterpart from Dugua had their motions on the provision of electricity in some parts of their constituencies, which is a community that had no electricity for over 4 decades. Saleh Ahmed Marke is calling on the state government to install water pipeline from Dungurawa to the Wakintufa headquarters, which were all unanimously adopted. The House has been adjourned to Wednesday, the 8th of May, 2024. From the Kano State House of Assembly, Samira Hamisushira, NTA News.
A bill to domesticate the Nigerian Consumer Protection Law has passed second reading at the Ogun State House of Assembly, with members embracing the components of the bill for adequate protection of consumers against harmful and sharp practices from service providers. The lawmakers also adopted a resolution advocating the urgent need to tackle cultism and the appointment of Commissioner for Youths in Ogun State. Parliamentary correspondent Yemi Dalemo reports on these and other proceedings of the lawmakers.
Leading the debate on the bill entitled Ogun State Consumer Protection Agency Bill, the sponsor Lukman Adeleye and other lawmakers note that the law, when operational, will ensure the protection of the rights of consumers and allow them the opportunity to seek redress whenever there is breach of contract.
The bill will give consumers the right to be heard and assure that the interests of consumers will receive due consideration at every forum. This bill will definitely protect the vices of social contract being entered into by mostly our social services provider. Consumer protection is an essential element of an healthy economy.
We have so much disassociated the law from the consumers. And Mr. Speaker, it is high time that this honorable house for posterity stand in unison to back the passage of this wonderful and lovely bill.
The Speaker, Oludaisi Elemide, who also agreed with the components of the bill, particularly the establishment of a government agency to be saddled with responsibility, later committed further legislative action on the bill to the Committee on Industry, Trade and Investment. The lawmaker representing Ipokia Idiroko State Constituency, Adebisi Oyedele, thereafter moved a motion on the urgent need to curb the growing cases of cult-related killings in Abuja, which was supported by the majority of the lawmakers at plenary. The House later adopted a resolution on the urgent need to clamp down on the alarming trend of cult-related killings in the state and the need for the state governor to appoint commissioner for youth in the state.
Those who are against saying nay, the ayes have it and supported.
The House, while performing its oversight functions, engaged some local government staff on the appraisal of their performances from January 2023 to March 2024 to examine the project and how funds accrued to the council were judiciously utilized. Meanwhile, the House Committee on Works and Infrastructure, during an assessment visit to the State Agro-Cargo International Airport in Peru, lauded the state governor Dapo Abiodun's ingenuity in initiating the project, which they added will further improve the state's socio-economic development.
Legislative is just to check balance. As stated in our Nigerian Constitution, Section 120 to 129, that this is a consolidated revenue. It cannot be used without the approval of the House.
The Speaker of the House later hosted the leadership of the Federal Road Safety Corps Ogun State Sector Command, led by the Sector Commander Anthony Uga, who came to synergize with the lawmakers on advancing the cause of safety while driving. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
In order to reposition the fire and rescue service for the desired productivity to meet international standard, the Cross River State House of Assembly has passed into law the State Fire Service Bill 2024. Uduak Etim reports that this was after due consideration of the report presented by the Chairman House Committee on Environment Matters, Martins Achudu, on the need for an amendment of the existing State Fire Service Law of 2004.
It would be recalled that the Cross River State Fire Service Bill 2024 was first proposed in the House on the 20th July 2023 as sponsored by member representing Biase State constituency, Ogban Francis, and as passed first and second reading, after which the bill was committed to the House Committee on Environmental Matters for consideration. Chairman of the committee and member representing Yalatu State constituency, Martins Achadu, presented a report of the findings to the House while seeking amendment of the law, which he said was long overdue. He highlighted challenges militating against smooth operations of the fire service in the state, which include lack of basic requirements for firefighting and prevention, as well as inadequate staff strength, among others.
We went through the rigors of holding public hearing and seeing how laws since 1988 were still being run by Cross River State Fire Service. That was one of the reasons the House saw laws that could no longer pass, and so the fire service could not perform optimally. So there was now a need to update the laws to current realities. And of course, the House deliberated again, even after my report, to further amend some schedules.
When we came in, there were a lot of fire incidents that ravaged the state. A lot of people's businesses went down, buildings, and so many other things. Now, we saw the need to go back and review or to look into the fire service laws. And we found out that those laws were obsolete laws. We equally consider that if those fees continues, then definitely the fire service will not perform very well.
Speaker, Cross River State House of Assembly, Elbert Ayambem, commended the committee for the comprehensive report presented and reiterated the 10th Assembly's commitment to people-friendly legislations.
There is this law we passed, and it's called Fire Service 2024 law. And when we were to pass, there was this section of the law that was talking about landlords, house owners, and high-rise with sum of 500,000 annually. Now, when we looked at it critically, I realized that the backlash is going to be on the occupants of such houses. So I looked at it critically. Members made their observation, and I asked the leader to come by way of motion expunging that particular part, that should be completely taken away, repealed from that law. And I think at the end of the day, We did so, and that was the end of it for that law.
Specific areas amended on the bill include redesignation or upgrading of position of the director and head of the fire service from director grade level 16 to state controller of fire service grade level 17, as well as formulation of regulations, additional powers of members, offences and penalties. In Calabar, Uduak Etam, NTA News.
The National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies says it will not tolerate any form of indiscipline in the course of study by students of postgraduate program of the Institute and the University of Benin. Director General NILS, Professor Abubakar Suleiman, stated this in a message to the matriculating students, advising them to be good ambassadors of NILS during and after their studies. Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
Barely 2 weeks after the matriculation of NILS Uniben postgraduate students, NES is an orientation exercise. They are formally welcomed to the 2023-2024 academic session to acquaint them with the do's and don'ts of the institutes. Representative of the DG NILS says the orientation focuses on moral conduct and ethical behavior for students, use of library and its facilities alongside ICT, among other rules guiding their studies.
Through our hard work, commitment, as well as clear vision and planning, both NILS and Uniben have sustained the momentum of excellence in line with international best practices.
Some of the students express appreciation and pledge to work with the laid-down rules of the institute.
I assure you that I will also abide with the rules and regulations of the school.
We have been oriented, and what they give us is for our good and benefits of the school, because any name that's spoiled, we have already become their student. If we went outside and do something contrary to the law and regulation of the school, we have given the school a bad name.
The postgraduate student will undergo an 18-month program to acquire a master's degree in various disciplines. In Abuja, Muhammad Rabiu Ali, NTA News.
That's the size of our bulletin for this evening. For more updates, kindly follow NTA Parliament on the platform scrolling on your screens. Thanks for staying with us. Once again, I am Abubakar Galadima. Bye for now.